Hello friends, and welcome back to Lolly's Kitchen. I'm so excited that you're taking time to spend with me today. Each time you check in, it feels like you're coming to my house and we're sitting down and we're gonna make something yummy together and we're just gonna have a conversation and just have fun together. So thank you so much. So I wanna remind you, if you're enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying doing it for you, make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you can get notified for every new video that we put out. So there's subscribe and then there's a little bell. So you wanna click the bell because the bell will let you know when it's dinner time, right? You ring a bell, ding ding. Anyway, so today we are going to make something unusually fun. Okay. So the weather's changing outside and it's getting time for the holidays. So Thanksgiving's just right around the corner, and as this time is coming up, we have to start preparing our minds for Christmas because it's right around the corner after Thanksgiving. And this year we're really excited for Christmas because we're ready for this year to be over. So let's make the best of this year. I know when I want something, I just buy it. I've been on Amazon and Etsy and I have gotten everything that I need or want all year long. So it really bothers my friends because anytime I make a comment about something, they think, oh, I could get her that for Christmas or for a birthday or something like that. And then the next thing they see me and I'm carrying that handbag or I've got what I said I liked. And so it's kind of frustrating for my friends because they don't know what to get me. Do you have friends like that? I'm guessing you probably do. But do those friends have pets? Do they have dogs? My dogs are my fur babies. They sleep with us, they do everything. They snatch food off the counters, they just are like the little terrible monsters that run around at your feet all the time. They're actually being good right now, so we just won't talk too loud to draw them in. Well, anyway, if you really want to show that you care about somebody, listen to their heart and listen to what means the most to them. So maybe it's their cat, maybe it's their dogs. Hopefully it's their dogs because dogs aren't as picky as cats. So today what we're gonna make is we're gonna make two dog treats, all natural for your friends, fur babies, or maybe yours. So let's get started. Okay, we got our apron on, we're ready to bake. One thing I have to show you though, I just got this apron. I have a friend who owns a store in Lafayette, Colorado called Just Dandy. Awesome store, Danielle, love it. So I got this apron there and it's really cool because it kind of goes on like overalls and then wraps around and ties in front here. And so it says gobble till you wobble. So we're gonna get there soon, but not on today's thing. The other thing too, I got some really cute little dish towels there and she's got all her fall stuff 25% off right now. So if you are looking for something, a cute little idea, even a gift, because you know we can give for next year, then go check out Danielle's store, Just Dandy. Okay, enough for the commercial. Now, what we're gonna make here are called Grooty Chews. So these are sweet potato chew treats for our boy dog, Groot. Groot is a vegetable boy. He loves all vegetables. He likes carrots and he likes broccoli and cauliflower and green beans and sweet potatoes. Ahi is our other dog and we're gonna make an Ahi treat also, which we'll talk about in just a second, and hers are gonna be called Ahi Tots. I like to name my treats after my dogs. So these are really good snacks for them, and when I try to give it to Ahi, she's all excited because she's gonna get something, and then she's like, bleh, I don't like it, and she spits it out, so then Groot eats it. So I had to kind of plan the treats according to who ate what. But she actually did like these chewies, and she didn't spit them out. She did raw, but she didn't when it was cooked, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So this is a super easy treat to make. It's super easy. When you go into the grocery stores or the pet food stores or any of those designer boutiques and they have all the fancy frosted cookies and all those really all natural, wholesome treats for your dogs, which are great because we don't want to fill them up with fillers. They're just like us. If you give them fat and starch and yucky stuff, they're going to get fat and feel yucky and gain weight, and you know that's not a good healthy thing for your dog. you'll have health issues in the future. But if you give them nutritional treats and food, then you'll be able to have them along with you a lot longer in life, where you just want to keep them and you never want to let them go. So sweet potatoes are a great way to accomplish that for your dogs. It's a low glycemic index, so it's easier for them to digest, and it also has a lot of fiber. It's just a good healthy snack, and anytime you look in some of these stores and stuff, you'll see a lot of things made with sweet potato. So it must be good, right? Now, the thing is I don't like the price tag on those items. They're really expensive. You put gourmet, all natural, all these different terms on it, and yes, they're great, but they're super expensive. So my favorite thing to do is get on Pinterest. I'm always on Pinterest. We're sitting there watching TV, and Pops is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm on Pinterest." So I found a couple real easy dog treats, because I know this is about being easy. So we're gonna make these sweet potato chews. So it's literally 3 ingredients. One sweet potato, or as many as you want to do. So it's real easy to double these recipes, triple them, whatever you want to do. I cut it in half so it's easier for me to maneuver. And then I need to cut it into a 1/4 inch slice thickness. And we happen, since I told you how much we buy gadgets, we happen to have a mandolin. I was just thinking, I was gonna cut these with a knife, and as I'm getting ready to cut it, Pops is like, "Oh, we have a mandolin." Of course we do. Most of my friends would say easily. All right, so I adjusted the thickness to a 1/4 inch. So the thicker you make these, they're kind of like a chip. So the thinner you make them, the crunchier they are. The thicker you make them, the chewier they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and make these in a 1/4 inch. You wanna make sure that you end this process with as many fingers as you start the process. So you wanna be careful about that. I'm gonna start maybe with the bigger side of my sweet potato, and I am gonna slice this down, and when I get close to where my fingers are, I'm gonna go ahead and put the guard in. Safety's not first, safety's last. But don't cut your fingers off, okay? So that's the big thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start doing this. My mother's watching and she's cringing every slice I do, I'm sure. Okay. And I'm not going as fast as my husband did. He went really fast. So now I'm getting down kind of low, and I'm gonna go ahead, and there's this nice little piece that you can put your sweet potato in, and then I'm gonna align it, I'm gonna put it on here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest. And that's it. That's like ringing the dinner bell. I'm glad they didn't come running. All right, we're gonna do the other one. Once you get your rhythm, it seems like it goes so much easier. And then we're gonna stick this in here, and we're gonna line it up, and we're done. So the end pieces I usually just toss to Groot because I don't want to cook them. Now we're gonna set this aside, and I'm just gonna use a big bowl, and I'm gonna take these slices and I'm gonna put them in this bowl, and I'm gonna toss them with oil. So the recipe that I'm using, it said you could use canola oil or vegetable oil. You know, those oils aren't really good for us, and so they're probably not good for your dog. I mean, they're cheap, they're easy. If that's what you can get and you want to do this, feel free to do it. It's not going to damage anything. But we always have a big vat of coconut oil in the fridge or in the pantry, and then I also have some avocado oil. So avocado oil is a really good fat. So, you know, the more good fats you can give your dogs, it makes their coat nice and shiny. We give our dogs salmon oil on their meals. So I'm just gonna coat these is what I'm doing. So I'm just pouring a little in here, and then obviously I put my gloves on just because then it's not so bad to clean it up. And then put all these in here. Okay, so we finished dusting these with cinnamon, and we're gonna put them in the oven. I already have some in there that they're ready to be out. So So I'm gonna bring those out and show you what those look like. Let me move my bowl out of the way here. So these are gonna go in for 3 hours. And this is what they look like when they're all done. These, as I said, were a little bit thinner. So these are more like a potato chip than a chew. They do still have a little bit of chewiness to them. Honestly, I tried these before and they're good for people too, honestly. If you're looking for like a low calorie snack, you can fry some. If you don't have dogs, you can cook some of these up for yourself. Put a little cinnamon on them and they're really good. They're a little chewy. So as you're chewing, you're not gonna eat as much, right? Because you're chewing. So you're exercising your jaw, getting a nice sleek jawline, and you're having a healthy snack. Isn't that awesome? All right. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna package all these up to give to somebody at the end, but I'm sorry, I got a piece of chew stuck in my throat. Now we're gonna get going on our other cookie, and we're gonna go into an Ahi Tot. Okay, now we're gonna make our second dog treat, the Ahi Tots. So Ahi, you know, she'll do some vegetables, but I think she's more of a snacky snack kind of girl, not so much of a vegetable girl. So these are gonna be more like a cake donut. So who doesn't like donuts? Even doggy donuts are probably gonna be good. So this is a limited ingredient recipe. It's really easy to make. We have pureed pumpkin. It called for just flour, but I chose to get, not almond flour, I chose to get wheat flour because it's a little healthier, so I wanted it to be healthy for the kids. And then 1 egg, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then I made a batch and it just didn't seem exciting. It didn't smell super exciting, so I chose to add a few more things to it. That's me, I know. I followed the last recipe, so I have to deviate for this one. So I'm adding turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory, really good for dogs. And I'm adding a pumpkin pie spice, just to give it a little bit more of something. This recipe does call for 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I am not adding salt to their diet. We do give them green beans on their food each day, and that has a little sea salt in it, so they're already getting salt, and so I don't want to give them any extra salt. This is why doing your own home ingredients or home baked goods for your pups is really good, because you can control the ingredients. So if you don't want to give them salt, if you don't want them to have flour, if you want to substitute it out, there's a lot of different substitutions and variations you can do. Our little guy, he gets allergies, and so this way I can kind of keep it as an eliminated ingredient and test it and move on and make adaptations and changes and stuff like that. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the pumpkin and we're gonna put it, it's 2/3 cup of pumpkin, and we're gonna put that into the bowl, and then we're gonna add 1 egg to it. So I did a measurement, and 2/3 cup of pumpkin is roughly 1/2 can of the small 15-ounce size cans. This recipe is super easy to double. I highly recommend that you double it, honestly. Just use one, because you have half a can of pumpkin hanging out. So you might as well just use a whole can of pumpkin, 2 eggs, and then we're gonna whisk those together. You could choose to do this in a mixer, but we're gonna end up folding in the other ingredients, so I'm just gonna do it all by hand. I mean, if you can't whisk an egg and pumpkin, it's not very heavy lifting, so you should be able to do that. No judgment. It's like Planet Fitness. No judgment. All right, now we are gonna add the, I always add my dry ingredients together, so I'm gonna add my spices to my flour, and then I'm gonna mix that up. Just stir it. If you don't have a flat whisk, I love a flat whisk. It's really great for stirring things around. All right, and now we're gonna fold this in, the flour mixture into the pumpkin mixture. And the reason we're folding it in is because we don't wanna lose the, I asked Google, I didn't know this. So I don't wanna lose the air that you're mixing into it. So when you use a mixer, you're gonna kind of overbeat it, so you don't want to do that. Unless you're Michael Jackson, you can beat it. But these cheesy 80s references are from my. So again, you're not harshly mixing, you're just rolling it in. Alright, so this is what your dough should look like. And we are going to just take that and get a cookie sheet. And you're going to decide how big do you want these bites to be. So I have my cookie sheet, I have my silicone liner in there, and I'm just going to pinch off a piece. And then I'm just going to roll it in my hands. This one isn't too bad, it's not sticking too bad. And then I'm gonna decide, I mean, you can put them pretty close together. They really don't spread out, or they rise a little bit because of the baking soda, but not terrible. And if you're giving this to somebody with small dogs, I would do smaller bites. Our dogs are pretty big. I'm gonna give some as a gift also. And the dogs I'm gonna give it to also are pretty big. Other mediums. Since these are all natural, you would store them in a airtight container, or you could freeze them. They should keep, I think it said up to 2 weeks in the airtight container, but you can freeze them up to 4 months. I might be making that up. I might be getting my recipes mixed up, but it sounds feasible, so I think it would be good. Just like any natural food, you want to look to make sure it doesn't have any mold or anything on it. If it does and you didn't store it properly, then get rid of it. The refrigerator helps slow that process down, so I would definitely keep these in the refrigerator. You can just keep them in a Ziploc bag and you're good. All right, so here are my Ahi Tots ready to cook. So these are going to go into a 350-degree oven for approximately 13 minutes. Again, you're gonna wanna check them. They're gonna turn brown, and they'll be brown on the edges, and they'll kind of open a little bit, so they'll kind of have, it looks like bread that's opened. So we're gonna stick these in the oven for 13 minutes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so our Ahi Tots have come out of the oven. I've put them on a tray here. You can do a lot of different ideas for gift giving. So if you just want to give it as a nice big tray like this, you could wrap it up in one of those bags at the dollar store and kind of tie it at the top. I always buy these little treat bags whenever I see them on clearance the year before for Christmas, or they have them at the dollar store. They make nice little gifts. I just added a little ribbon to it. And I put about a half a dozen of the Ahi Tots in there with some Grooty Chews, and I'm gonna give these as gifts this year. So if you just want to give a gift to a friend and bless them with showing them how much you love them, because you know how much they love their friends, their furry friends, their fur babies, their pets, this is a great way that you can do this for the holidays. It's time to start thinking now, because before you know it, it's going to be Christmas. And then even if it was the day before and you forgot, this was a really easy gift that you could whip together literally the night before. So the next time you're in the store, grab some pumpkin, grab a sweet potato, and get going. So it wouldn't be right if we didn't do a taste test, right? So let's get our friends here. So our little fur babies are roaming around. You know, the hills may be alive with the sound of music, but the house is alive with the smell of dog treats. So they are roaming around. So let's get them and do a taste test.